Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today for TapRooT TV. We're going to talk about root cause analysis and investigation and a whole track we have set at the 2022 Global Taproot Summit.
Right.
So Ken Reed's here with me, and we're going to let him take it away and tell us a little bit about that.
All right, thanks, Emily. Yeah, we're going to get in a little bit on best practices for investigations. And boy, there's a lot of great ideas out there on how to perform investigations and different things that you can do. And the summit track will go into a lot of these things in a lot of detail, but just some of the things that came to mind when you asked, so what are some of those best practices? And there's a lot of good things to think about that you should be considering as an investigator when you're doing a good Taproot investigation. So for example, make sure you're asking the right questions. And that seems like such a broad, well, no kidding kind of thing. But it's amazing how many times I watch investigations go, and the only question the investigator knows to ask is, can you tell me what happened? I mean, well, yeah, that's a good question. I'm okay with that.
Or why?
Or why?
Let me ask you that 5 more times.
Yeah, eventually you get tired of hearing that, right? About how many times, about why did you do that? But yeah, asking the right questions is a great, is a problem that we see a lot of times. So obviously our Taproot tools give you some great ideas on the right questions to ask and allow you to ask things that you are not familiar with. What we see is if you're a training person, you ask a whole bunch of training questions. But do you think to ask about how the control panel's set up and what were the weather conditions like and what kind of supervision was available and those kinds of things? You may miss those. So the Taproot system helps you ensure that you're not missing any of those things. So asking good questions. That's probably number one, I think, is making sure you're doing that. We also oftentimes see customers or companies during investigations, they want to start with the corrective actions. As soon as something bad happens, the first thing they want to do is fix it. But there's really there's an order to an investigation. You really got to understand what happened and then understand why the problems occurred. And then finally, once we got those whys figured out, then we can go and put the corrective actions in place. So the order of your investigation is critical. What actually happened, what mistakes were made, and then how are we going to fix those mistakes? And that's kind of the order it needs to go in. It's pretty common, though, for companies that don't use Taproot to, something bad happened over here and they're ready to put corrective actions in place.
Right. Taproot's a simple yet systematic process, and it's like that for a reason. Like
That's
you're
right.
saying, there is a sequential way for us to go through this.
Yeah, it's companies without a good process like this are trying to figure it out on their own. And they try the best they can, but the structure of the Taproot process is what really helps guide the investigator where they need to go. Yeah. Another thing that I think is really helpful with investigations is not just wait to do an investigation. Go use it proactively. Don't wait for something bad to happen and then say, oh, I ought to go investigate that. Almost every investigation I've ever seen, once you finish the investigation, you realize, oh crap, yeah, it's been that way for a long time. And we could have found that just by looking, just by walking out on the shop floor, asking the right questions, saying, so why aren't you using the proper tool for this? And if only we had asked that a year ago or a month ago, we would have prevented the incident from occurring. So don't be afraid to go out there and use it proactively. Go out there and look for problems, because I'll guarantee those problems are sitting out there waiting for you to find them.
Yeah, one thing is that people, tend to think, oh, I only need to use Taproot for the big stuff.
Right.
And I'm going to use this other mediocre tool for the small stuff. Well, if you're going to use something that's, not going to get you the results that you need.
Why bother?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You can use Taproot for both.
Right.
And actually get to the problem the
really,
right way.
I hear that the same thing
Yes.
quite frequently. It's frustrating. I'm just going to use this junk
Right.
process for the small stuff, but those small things very rapidly turn into big things.
Yeah.
So you might as well, if you're going to put any time at all into doing a root cause analysis, well, use a good system.
Right.
Use something that's going
Otherwise, it's garbage in, garbage out.
That's exactly it. So, and that kind of leads to my next point that I was going to make is use it for all kinds of problems, both simple and complex, but also I oftentimes find companies are using TapRooT for example, EHS problems. So we're gonna fix all our environmental health and safety issues. But then they don't really think about, we've got quality issues sitting over here, and we have equipment failures over here, and they don't think to expand the system out and use it for all these other little problems that are hanging out there. So I guess what I'd say is don't stovepipe your use of TapRooT for your own particular thought process. Think about the other problems that are occurring in your company. People are making mistakes everywhere, and you can use TapRooT any place people make mistakes.
That's a great point. We'll include a link below too. We have a software demo that shows just how robust the software is.
Yeah.
And you can go into those different areas and fine tune and customize what you're doing, which is very helpful and kind of outside of the box thinking, like you said.
Absolutely. Some of our, a lot of our customers, for example, in the pharmaceutical industry, use TapRooT mainly for quality issues. And people in the mining or oil and gas industry are using it for safety issues. And they don't really see the overlap there. And I've got one of my pharmaceutical customers who's realizing, wow, we could use this for EHS problems too. And the oil and gas guys are saying, well, of course you can. That's what we use it for.
It's all right there.
It's all right there, and it's the same exact process, no matter what kinds of problems you're looking for. So, and then finally, another great opportunity that is out there for making your investigations better is to benchmark your investigation processes against other companies. And we give you that opportunity during our summit. So you can sign up for our summit in 2022, come to our summit, see how 200, 300, 400, 500 other TapRooT users are using TapRooT, benchmark against them and get great ideas. It's everybody loves talking about how they're successful.
And you're so surprised, hearing stories and somebody standing up and saying, well, here's what we do, in our pharmaceutical industry, that somebody who is in mining can have a takeaway from that and apply it to their industry. Even though you'd never think, well, why would I want to listen to what somebody in pharmaceuticals has to say?
Right.
There are lessons you can learn and apply, and I love that.
And you don't even realize it until you get together like this. You don't even, it's just not something you consider, why would I think about quality issues? I'm here, drilling on a drilling rig somewhere. Well, those quality issues are customer service problems. They could be why I'm having equipment issues because of the quality of the equipment I'm buying, and there's all kinds of stuff that is just such a valuable way of getting together with other people that you wouldn't normally get together with, and seeing how they're being successful using the system.
Yep. So if you're going to join us for the summit, you want to go to our summit page, which is taproot.com/summit, and then you can get in there and select the track. Now, what I did last year is I just picked the same track for everything, but you can get in there and customize.
Sure.
You can also bring a team, so that way, we're going to divide and conquer. You go to those classes, I'm going to these. You can even get a little head start and do some pre-summit courses.
That's right.
So we've got some Equifactor training and other things in there.
Some corrective action training, and there's all kinds of good stuff that's available there. If you're not sure how to do, how to collect evidence and how to interview people and things like that, there's a whole course on that before the summit. So lots of opportunities to improve and really just benchmark and meet other people. And like I said, people love talking about how they are being successful. So you have the opportunity to talk to a lot of really successful world-class companies.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, thanks for being here today, Ken.
Absolutely.
Sharing a little bit more about that. And for our viewers, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and we'll see you at the summit.
Bye-bye.